Okay, I think I got that. Okay. What's up, Angel Legacy? It's your girl, Asia. And I'm back with another video. Make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You have to subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we post, upload, or do anything on our channel. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so where should I start? I am big on, let's just say this, y'all know, y'all seen that title. Of course, I don't even want to start this video off wrong. Y'all seen the title, y'all know what I'm going to talk about. Y'all know what's going on. And I'm just basically going to be explaining some things in terms of why you don't see people, a certain person on the channel, or why sometimes, you know, we don't post or whatever the case may be. So first and foremost, like everybody knows, I'm a newly mom of 2 now. My first daughter, she's 3, about to be 4, and this is a newborn right here. She's 2.5 months, about to be 3 on the 14th. And honestly, I don't know, maybe it's, I don't even want to say it because I feel like I'm not going through that, but I mean, you never can actually really know what you're going through unless, like, I don't know, unless like you, I don't know how to explain it, y'all, but I don't feel like I'm going through postpartum. However, I do feel like maybe I am, like, I'm not really sure about it. In my last couple of videos, I did explain that, you know, I basically have not had any symptoms of postpartum, and that Araya, you know, when I had Araya, I didn't have that either, and I actually didn't have that at all, so that was a good thing, that was a blessing. But in terms of with Alea is such a peaceful baby. She doesn't really cry like that. She doesn't really, like, you know what I mean? She doesn't really do too much of anything. Araya, get up. Thank you. She doesn't really do too much of anything. But I kind of find myself feeling like, I don't want to say depressed, but like just feeling like down, like, and feeling like sometimes or some days are better than the others, of course, but I don't feel myself sometimes. And this literally just started happening because, like I said in the other previous videos, up until this point, I was doing perfectly fine. I didn't have any problems. I didn't have any worries. I didn't have any issues. I was doing good. Like, everything was going smoothly. And now it's to the point to where it's like, honestly, I'm just going to be 100% transparent with you guys. Me and their father isn't seeing eye to eye on certain things, and it kind of bothers me, and it bothers me to the point to where it's like certain things that he may say or that he might have said like a long time ago, or like, you know, before yet last night or before the night before that, where it was just like, rubbed off my shoulders, whatever. But now it's to the point to where it's like, I really do feel some type of way, and I don't know why. All right, get out of there. It's to the point to where it's like, I take everything to the head now, like everything, and everything is personal. Everything is so serious with me, and that's not the type of person I am at all. I've never been that type of person. Right, get out of there. Sorry, I have to keep telling her to get out. And you see her right now. She keeps going back. Close it. So, yeah. So, last night was a turning point for pretty much the whole house. Me and their father got into a huge argument, and it led into like just so much commotion, so much like just fighting back and forth, not, you know, physical or anything like that, but fighting back and forth, and you know, who's right, who's wrong, who's right. And it's just, of course, it's not healthy. Are you throwing up? Oh no, you're spitting. Of course, it's not healthy for the kids, and I try to be mindful of that, of course. But I just honestly feel like sometimes, or like now, sometimes I am in a situation to where it's like, I just get super frustrated, y'all. Like, and I don't know if anybody can relate, but like, I just be feeling super frustrated, super like just overwhelmed with a lot of stuff. Like I said, I want to be super transparent with you guys. So during night, like, you know, when everybody's sleep and feeling good or whatever, recharging for the next day, God bless you, I am pretty much still up. I still run around and get the bottle and change the baby, and like, you know, and it's just me doing it by myself, and which I can understand, of course, because I'm at home and Jordan has, you know, work and stuff like that. He gets up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and he has to, like, you know, get ready for work, and then I take him to work and I come back home, and I'm pretty much just up throughout that whole entire day. I don't get any sleep until right again nighttime. And like I said, sometimes we go to sleep at 12, sometimes we go to sleep at 1. But majority of the time I do try to get my sleep when I can. However, I do have another kid, so I have to obviously, like, you know, prioritize both of them. But it's just a lot stressfuler when I feel like I'm kind of doing it by myself throughout the night. And so that's one other thing that plays into me just feeling stressful, feeling overwhelmed. But I know it has to be done, you get what I'm saying? And it's not their fault or her fault as to why I do have to get up by myself or do have to do certain things by myself and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's one reason. I think the other reason is primarily because, like, on this channel, you guys see it's literally me, Alea, or, like, you know, I'm always the one recording, I'm always the one doing certain things, and it's just like I take a lot of the weight in this dynamic that we have, and I know it's not healthy, but if it doesn't happen, it's not gonna get done, type of thing, you know. And so yeah, I don't know. And then I've also I hate talking about it because then it makes me emotional, and I hate getting emotional around them. I'm trying to keep my eyes open because I know that I'm about to start tearing up and crying. I have recently lost my papa, and dealing with that situation has not been easy, just because, once again, like I said, I can't cry, I can't really show my I can't cry, I can't really show my emotions. And so I'm kind of like a robot. I have to, like, control everything that happens because I don't want her to feel it. And then I don't want my other kid to feel like, you know, I'm crying because of her, I'm crying because of whatever. So I try to be my best self, try to be happy, but I do go through a lot of things outside of just me picking up a camera and recording myself. And so it is kind of hard to manage everything. Me and my papa, we were super close in terms of just talking on the phone, and anytime that I felt like, you know, how do I say, anytime that I felt stressed or whatever about, like, you know, losing a lot of people around me, it gave me comfort in knowing that I still had him, because he was not at the hospital, he was back and forth at the hospital, but he was still fighting, he was still trying so hard. And that's why I look at him in a positive light, regardless of whether what he may have done in his past or whatever the case may be. I always look at him in a positive light, because when it came to me, when it came to, you know, his kids or his grandkids, whatever, I felt like he thought about us and he fought for so long, like so long. Like, I'm saying, before I even got pregnant with Araya, I had just got pregnant with Araya, and I had told him, like, you know, you're about to be a great grandpa. Like, you already one, but for me, like, I'm about to have a baby. And he was just super excited to know, and you know what I mean, and just be able to experience that moment with me. And that was my first time ever seeing him the way that I saw him in his home or whatever that they had put him in. And of course, at that time, I wasn't thinking about it. I'm going to probably insert a picture right here, so you guys can actually see, like, you know, the day or whatever it may be. But I posted on my Instagram a bunch of times, so I'm pretty sure that you guys have already seen it if you guys follow me. But I just looked at him like he was super strong, because it's been, my daughter is now 3, about to be 4. It's been almost 4 years, and he has fought so hard to stay here and try to, like, you know, still be here for everyone, and even himself, you know what I mean? And it just kind of hurts my feelings a little bit, because I wasn't able to say bye. Everybody else, as you guys know, I live in Texas, and my grandfather is back at home in California, so I wasn't able to really say bye to him. I wasn't able to like have that last little talk or anything like that, and it kind of makes me feel some type of way. But when I heard that he passed away, it was kind of like, I don't know, maybe God was just on my side that day. But I wasn't super emotional. Like, of course, I did shed a couple of tears, you know, and being by myself, I was shedding tears, but I wasn't super, super emotional. And I think now it has dawned on me, like, that I don't have that person that I can just, let me call and check up on him and see what he's doing. Like, you know, and he'll have a joke for me, or he'll have, you know, just something to talk about, or whatever the case may be. And we'll just sit on the phone. Even if we sit on the phone in silence, that's fine too. Like, you know, and it just hurts my feelings, because he's seen my kids before, but he's never met them. Like, you know what I mean? And he hasn't seen her. He didn't even know about her. You know what I mean? And I cut off a lot of people when I got pregnant, because I didn't want them to be so judgmental and so just like focused on what I'm doing and in my business. But he wasn't like that. Like, he wasn't judgmental. He wasn't gonna judge me. He didn't judge me when I told him about Araya. Like, no, like, it's just a lot. And I don't know, like, I feel some type of way. I feel like my kids don't have their grandfather from I feel like my kids don't have that opportunity to really bond with their grandfather how I would want them to. One, because like I said, we are in Texas, and then 2, because we barely even speak. And me and my dad, we used to be so tight. We used to be so close. We used to speak all the time, 24/7, like every single day almost. Go over his house, you know, when he's in where I was staying at, he would come over, or whatever case may be. And we would bond, just have little moments like that, you know. And I'm a daddy's girl, of course, like, you know, so that was very important to me. And I feel like now that my kids are getting older, and Araya, you know, she's about to be going to school soon, it's just like, damn, I really want that for her, you know what I mean? I want both of them to be able to experience their grandfather, and experience those talks on the phone, those, you know, pieces of advice that he can give and stuff like that. And I mean, maybe, you know, I will actually reach out and reconnect with my dad in terms of just talking every day, and, you know, starting it off But I just, like I said, my mind's been everywhere. And I'm just now coping with the fact that I have lost someone that was super important to me. And not only that, it's like it's a cycle. You know what I mean? Like, I've lost so many people. I can't even count on one hand how many people I've lost just within a year's span, from this day forward to last year around this same time. It's just been hard. Like, it's been super, super hard. And I don't know how I'm keeping it all together. I don't know how I keep a smile on my face. And I guess probably because I have kids, so they do make me feel better. But there's always a downside, of course, to every situation. I just wish that I would have been given the opportunity to actually say bye and to actually tell him that I love him, and that, like, I know that he's been sticking and holding on for so long. And I know he's been struggling, you know what I mean? And my mom had called me the day before that everything had happened, or I think it was like maybe a couple of days before everything had happened, and she's like, oh yeah, well, they said that, you know, he only has a couple of days or like a couple weeks to live, but they said that before, and we're not gonna, you know, get discouraged by that. I'm not gonna cry about it. And she was perfectly fine. She was holding herself up together for me. And I was looking like, oh, okay, well, let me just pray about it. You know, normally when I pray, God hears me, and they get answered like that. Whenever I pray, it's just so crazy because prayer really works. Even if you don't feel like it does in that moment, he hears you. And that's very important, is to be heard. And so me praying and everything like that, and one thing that I left out of my prayer was that I just wanted to say bye. If it was that time, I didn't want him to be suffering. But I did want to say bye. And I remember my grandmother, she called me like maybe a couple of days after that, and said, like, you know, okay, wait, let's backtrack. So my mom, when I was on the phone with her, she basically was like, you know, they said he only has a couple of weeks to live or whatever, and, you know, we're gonna make the best of it. We don't believe it, really. And on top of that, he had stopped eating, he had stopped drinking, he had stopped taking his medication. He just didn't want to do anything. I'm trying, y'all. I'm sorry. This video is harder than I thought. He didn't want to do anything in terms of trying to get himself better or trying to make himself better. He just kept saying he wanted to go home. He was tired. And that for me was an eye-opener, because I've never heard him say he was tired. I've never heard him just want to say, I just don't want to do it. I want to go home. You know what I mean? Like, when you hear those words, it's kind of like a damn, like, you know, a bittersweet moment, because it's like, on one hand, it's like, damn, I don't want you to go. But on the other hand, it's like, I know that you're suffering, and I don't want you to suffer either. And so, oh, I didn't even know she was asleep. But yeah, so basically my grandmother had ended up calling me a couple of days after that, because my mom and my auntie, they were crying and screaming at the top of their lungs. They couldn't call me, they couldn't tell me anything. So she had ended up calling me and telling me the news or whatever about my granddad, and I basically was just shocked. Like, I was just stuck, because I had just tried to reach out to him the day before that, and he didn't answer the phone. It's like, okay, cool, he's probably asleep, I'll call him tomorrow. Tomorrow came, and I got a phone call before I could even reach out to him, basically stating that, you know, he had passed away. And I don't even remember what I said, but I know that I was just like, oh, like, I just brushed it off, like not brushed it off, but like, you know, oh, okay, like, thank you for telling me. And I hung up the phone, and I just, Jordan had asked me, like, you know, what's wrong? I was like, well, you know, My grandma just called me. She said my papa died. Can you take the kids real quick? Because I'm not feeling really good. He took the kids in the living room, and I sat in the room, and I was just sitting here. And of course, I dropped multiple tears. But after that, Araya wanted to come in the room, and I knew in that moment that was God telling me, you know, he's okay. You know, it's okay to smile. It's okay to cry because you're gonna miss him. It's okay to feel how you feel. But in this moment, I know for a fact that he is okay. And it made me feel so much better. She came in here, she gave me a hug, she gave me a kiss. And I was just like, you know, my whole day was brightened up. And it's really crazy that I'm telling this part of the story and the sun just started coming out. Like it just started getting super bright. That's so crazy. But yeah, so I don't want to harp on the story too much, but that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason why, you know, I've been feeling how I've been feeling and doing what I've been doing in terms of just not being able to really post like that and stuff like that. It's just been drained, you guys. I've been tired. But nevertheless, I will always continue to keep going with you guys because I know you guys support me so much, and I thank you so much for being so patient with me in this time. But like I said, I've just been going through a lot, so just please bear with me. I will start back reposting very, very soon. Every single day I will try to drop a video. But please just, like I said, just bear with me, y'all. I'm going through a little bit of a hard time and adjusting to everything. You know what I mean? It's not easy. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Make sure you guys go ahead and like this video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on the press notification. Don't forget to press that notification bell. That way you get notified every single time we post, upload, or do anything on the channel. Without further ado, let's get into the next video. Peace.